Hello, welcome back to Squashwarp in Kerbal Space Program. I'm Luke, and we are going to the sun today. This is the Cambion Solar Observatory mission, or whatever we've called it. And the question that we have to ask is, well, one is why is there glitches going on visually, but the main thing that we want to ask is, are we... Nope, we're still in space high over the sun, so all of these... You stare at the reading and stare and stare. Well, let's get a gravity scan. There's no biomes, but let's send back the gravity scan. And we'll check if anything else hasn't been sent. Nope, not been done. I mean, been done. Been done. Been done. We're gonna have to go closer. We're already rather close. So let's delete this maneuver and let's delete the alarm. Let's see if we're low when we get there. Add an alarm for that maneuver and we'll check back in on them later. Alright, next thing. Okay, next is the Dryad transfer vehicle. We missed the correction burn a little bit, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be close enough as it is. We're on our way out to Minmus. We'll do this real quick. Okay, built a maneuver node. It's gonna cost us 360 meters per second out of 890. I'm not being very careful with my fuel expenditure because we have a mining ship. But Cambion is actually going to be hitting that point first, so I'm going to do some juggling. See you at Cambion. Wow, we're getting very close to the sun. Oh my god. It's getting so big. I want this to be in space low, please. How close do we have to get? Oh my gosh. Okay. Close that. And then let's warp to the maneuver for the space station. And maybe we'll get in space low by then. In space low, we did it, we did it, we did it! Oh my gosh, okay. All the things, all the things. Okay, you've measured the interaction between the solar wind and the magnetic field of this body as it deflects charged particles. Okay, that's not quite right, but anyway. Electric charge. Send. We're making our electric charge back so fast. Like, what is our electric input right now? We're making 200 and something electric charge per second. Why is it going down? It's going down. Well, let's hurry. The gravitational pull is very high. Maybe that's why the planets don't fly away. The instrument reads 0 as if it were in a vacuum. It's hot here. What a surprise. Oh great, the goo has evaporated. The samples are cooking up nicely. Time to turn them over and add some salt. Let's see if any of these can be done again. Does no good, does no good, does no good, does no good. Gravity scan, nope, does no good. Atmospheric pressure, no. No. What about the magnetometer? Sometimes we get extra data from the magnetometer for some reason. Nope. Okay. That's it. Well, let's ride this in the rest of the way, shall we? For some reason my power generated is going down, which actually kind of surprises me. because I would think it would be going up as we get closer. Heat management is not concerned with the sun, so we don't need to worry about that. Okay, we'll quick save and let's ride it in. We can turn this alarm off. Okay, we could just have the Dryad transfer vehicle in 2 days. There's Eve. There's Urlum. There's Sarnis. There's Duna. Oh my goodness, we can see the thing. We can see the corona. Oh my gosh. Oh! Stop time accelerating. Is it gone? We reached 473,000 kilometers. What happened? Okay. Probidobidine hex exploded due to overheating. 1202 out of 1200 Kelvin. Science Junior exploded due to overheating. The photovoltaic panels exploded. The mystery containment unit exploded. The magnetometer boom exploded. Well, fantastic. The highest speed achieved was 49 kilometers per second. Yeesh. All right. Well, we did good. Where are we on the map? We made it here. No wonder we exploded. Okay, well, I'm glad we did our science first. Okay, let's go to the Space Center. Or let's go to the tracking station. Okay, meanwhile, in much cooler temperatures, we have the transfer vehicle going out to Minmus, so let's just time accelerate that until we get to our maneuver. Wherever Minmus is. There it is. Crossing the sphere of influence. I think we already did, and making our way to our maneuver. Just point orbit retrograde, and then we'll have to repoint ourselves. There's the lab. That's what we're trying to rendezvous with. We're on a completely different orbit. Close. And I'll step through this quickly, since we've seen these rendezvous before. Okay, coming into dock now. Good. Let's get to the sunshine so I can see what I'm doing. Very good. First order of business is to fill up these tanks. And then I'm going to activate the lab. And then I'm going to check on the Vampire ISRU and see how it's doing. There's a lot of maintenance to do around the space station today. Actually, we have a Moho window in a couple of hours, so we're going to launch a repeat of the Moho lander and try not to forget about it this time. All right, the Mimic Moho Lander 2, it's actually number 3, so let's relabel that now. If I can find the probe core. Maybe I'll do that later when I can see better. All right, I'm going to fast forward through this launch because you have seen this exact vehicle launch before. Here we go. Okay, well, that was a weird lunch. I went too shallow, and I decided to let it play out and see what happened next. And sure enough, what happened next is it took us way too long to get into orbit, and we ended up burning off our vector, and we lost the stage we were going to recover. So let's not do that again. I'd rather do too steep than too shallow. Okay, I'm going to make a maneuver out to Moho. I hate rendezvousing with Moho. I hate it so much I've become blurry. Oh, thank God. Finally got an encounter, for Pete's sake. Okay, we'll call that good enough. I better get the encounter better. Okay, I've made a maneuver. It's going to Moho. That was exhausting. Let's turn to it and perform it. I hope we have enough Delta V when we get there. My goodness, there's been a lot of attempts. I mean, we've got almost 8 kilometers per second on this vehicle. So hopefully that'll be enough this time. Come on. We can do it. If we'd known what inclination to launch into, that would have saved us a lot of Delta V, but maybe there's a way to know that, but I haven't figured it out. All right, here we go. All right, well, we completed the burn, but we didn't end up with an encounter. So why am I not surprised? Let's add a maneuver here to try to fix it. Okay, we've got a correction burn in 94 days that will get us back on course for Moho. And otherwise, let's just warp out of our sphere of influence and then move on to other things. Add alarm for the sphere of influence change, which will happen in 1 day. Let's roll so that we're getting solar panels. All right, here we go. And it's time for some space trucking. The ISRU is full, so let's stop the harvester and retract the drill and fly up to the space station. You've seen this before, so we'll go quick. Okay, coming into dock. And then we're going to do some refueling. And then we'll go back to Minmus. And then I have a tanker launch. Well, no, I have a new thing after that. We're doing some interplanetary missions. Whoop. Let's fix this. Stop paying attention. There we go. Bad time to stop paying attention. Look at the nice blue-silver reflection from the from Minmus. Looks great. All right. Fuel transfers. Okay, heading back to Minmus. Oh, whoops, we don't have any monopropellant. How do we just gotta very carefully rotate ourselves away from the station. There we go. And then we'll use just a little bit of fuel to get out of the vicinity. Good. Okay, cool. Forgot I need a little bit of monopropellant just to back away from the space station. Okay, now we go land. I thought I was orbiting the other way. Let me reload that. So like, I'm coming in for a landing. Nope. Now we can try that again. Yeah, this time we have monopropellant to back away. Have I mentioned how much I love that the mountains reflect on the flats? Parallax is amazing. Okay, coming down for a very gentle landing. There we go. Alright, deploy solar panels, deploy radiators, deploy drill. Deploy drill. Start surface harvester. Start surface harvester. Start liquid fuel and oxidizer. Start monopropellant. And let's time accelerate until our heat flux is correct. Perfect. Don't jump. Stay where you are. Good. All right. Next launch. Okay, we finally get a break from space trucking, and we get to launch Pegasus 3 to Nidon, which is the Neptune analog. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. All right. Banking over. This is our most advanced spacecraft yet. Now we're getting a thermal warning. But so far, everything's okay, according to that. Anyway, we'll check in on thermal later. Going up into the sky. No sunset for us. And I'm letting it do a steep ascent because last time we did a shallow ascent, everything was terrible. So this is less bad. Although it still could be better. Alright. Let's turn to the orbit prograde. That'll get us pointed a little more the way we want to go. We want to burn out to about 100 kilometers. Okay. And up we go. All right. Fairing deployed. There it is. There's the spacecraft. And we're in space. Let's make a maneuver. I said let's make a maneuver. Okay. Add apo circularize. Not so much. More circular. There we go. Good enough. In 15 seconds. Can we get turned in 15 seconds? It's an interesting question. 3, 2, 1. There we go. graceful separation. Extend the radiator. Enable reactor. If you notice, this craft has no solar panels. We are going to Nidon, where the sun barely shines, and so this craft is our first nuclear-powered probe. We have a core life of 250 years. Auto shutdown temperature, all of that looks good. We make sure that this is good. Generated 1 kilowatt, and we're removing at least 7, so we're doing just fine. Alright, I'm going to fast forward through this bird. Alright, switch to the launch vehicle, and down we go. Okay, back at our probe, we can extend the magnetometer boom, and let's build a maneuver out to Nidon. I'll be back. This is the most interesting maneuver I've ever planned. Without intending to, I got an Urlum encounter, followed by a Nidon encounter. So I'm actually gravity assisting off Urlum to get to Nidon, just slightly. So we're going to fly into Urlum's sphere of influence, and then to Nidon, which is just the coolest thing I've ever done. So we can get some kind of correction burn somewhere, I'm sure. Let's just see if we can perform this maneuver accurately enough to actually get this. Okay, here we go. And with our new advanced probe cores, we have maneuver holds, which are fantastic. I no longer have to point at the darn maneuver. I can just tell the computer to point at it. There we go. We lost the Urlum encounter, but I just saw a Nidon encounter pass by, so we're gonna... Oop, there it was. Okay. We're burning inefficiently, but that's because we're trying to arrive there in any decent amount of time. So let's delete this maneuver. There's our closest approach. Let's add a maneuver at the descending node. And let's try... Okay, we can actually get it by burning retrograde. Let's focus on Nidon. Oh, we were already focused on Nidon. I'll fiddle with this a little more. Okay, that's a pretty good encounter. I don't know what Nidon's atmosphere situation is. 260 kilometers, and we're well above that. So we'll call that good. We'll point toward the maneuver marker, even though it'll be a long time and it'll probably process. And we'll just go back to stability assist. It's going to be 31 meters per second. We still have 4,600 to work with. Let's add an alarm for the maneuver and for this SOI change. We'll delete this Nidon closest approach and this Nidon closest approach. Is that how you say it, by the way? I'm just saying Nidon. Could be Nidon, I don't know. So Pegasus 3 will do a correction burn in 1 year and 395 days. And we'll be arriving at Nidon in 18 years, 244 days. We may well be able to use warp drive to get to Nidon before this probe is halfway there. But we'll find out. We got to do our science as best we can, and this is what we did. All right. Back to, well, we'll warp to our SOI change, and then we'll go back to the Space Center. I'm proud of this probe. It's asymmetrical, so I put some work into getting all of the technology the way it was supposed to be. The technology balanced the right way. Can I enable hibernation? Is that a thing? If I enable hibernation, what happens to the electric charge? I don't know. Hibernation. Hibernate and warp. So I'm not sure how this works, but I'm going to assume that it's going to work when we come back. Oh, look, you can see the heat coming off the radiator. We're removing way more heat than we need to. I thought that we had a worse situation than we do. But anyway, all right, next thing. Okay, we're going to jump ahead. It looks like 16 days because we are building the Pegasus 3 again. This one is going to Urlum. Okay, same craft, different destination. I'm going to go through this quickly, and I will see you after. I time accelerated at the wrong time and it caused the parachutes to break. So we're going to hit the water at 50 something meters per second instead of our normal lower speed, so we'll see what happens. Oh, we survived. Okay. 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 Alright, don't time accelerate while the parachutes are in the middle of opening. Lesson learned. We're back with our spacecraft. We need to rename this as Pegasus 4, because that's what it is. It's going to Urlum. And our radiator is deployed. Our reactor is online. Let's build a maneuver to Urlum. Okay, maneuver is built. That was pretty easy. Here we go. Okay, we got an encounter in 5 years. So let's set up a correction burn. Urlum is pretty. And it's got rings. Alright, so we will, unlike Uranus, it is not on a 50-degree inclination because Kerbal planets cannot have inclined axes. Okay. Add an alarm for our maneuver, which will be in 1 year and 270 something days. And an SOI change alarm. Go back to our spacecraft. Delete this Urlum encounter and this Urlum encounter. And let's warp to the edge of the sphere of influence, and I'll see you for the next one. Our next window is Dres. Although we do have another Sarnus window, which I am missing, but that's okay. We will send something else to Sarnus next time around. But Dres is coming up in 9 days. The ship that is going to go to Dres is not going to be ready for 15 days, though, so let's warp. Oh, actually, Pegasus, the original Pegasus, has its correction burn in 3 hours. We get to see Pegasus again. We get to check out the original outer planet probe. I don't even remember what Pegasus looks like. So this will be fun. It's been many, many hours since I've seen this craft. And there it is. Or those solar panels aren't going to do much out at Sarnas, are they? We didn't have nuclear reactors yet. Okay, let's get ready to perform this maneuver. It's just 0.3 meters per second, but it's going to get us into our correct pass over Sarnas. Okay. Alarm's coming up. Let's go. Okay. I've warped to the maneuver. Burn is in. You know what? Let's thrust limit this so that the burn isn't so short. Oh my god, it's gonna be 0.4 of a second even at, it's gonna be 1 second long even at all the way thrust limited down. Let's look at Sarnas so that we can see what we're doing. Oh, Sarnas is so pretty. Okay. 18 seconds. Okay. Sarnas has an atmosphere of 580 kilometers, and we're coming in at 765. We could even go closer. All right, 630. Right by the atmosphere, but not quite into it. Hail, Ovok, Elu, Slate, and Tecto. If we set Tecto as the target, what is our inclination? 9 degrees? That could be much worse. I don't think, from the way that we're coming in, I don't think I can do anything about our arrival inclination. We want to make sure that we swing by Tecto. Let me try out making a maneuver and see if it's possible to fix that or not. No, I don't think so. If I burn normal or anti-normal, it increases the inclination. So this is about the best we're going to get. All right, this is it. We're going to set the alarm for the sphere of influence change. And that is going to happen in 3 years, 114 days. All right. Well, it was good to see you, Pegasus. Why don't you point retrograde so that your solar panels can have as much coverage as possible, and so that your little antenna can do as much as it can to reach Kerbin. Let's do this. And while we're here, we can take a look at Antenna Helper and make sure that we are in fact going to have reception out at Sarnas. Yeah, with the upgraded tracking station, we will have signal out at Sarnas. Not a strong signal, but we will have it. All right, unset that target, turn off Antenna Helper, and let's go back to our Dres mission. All right, for our third interplanetary launch of the episode, this is the Periton space probe going to Dres. Here I go. 3, 2, 1. This was not the spacecraft I thought it was. What are all those things? Are those... I think those are... parachutes. I think that this spacecraft was destroyed by the exhaust of the other one. Let me see if I can find another craft here. Is it labeled as debris? Debris pieces. Probe debris. Switch to the probe debris. Here it is. All right, well, the probe core got destroyed, so there's no way to deploy the parachutes. So, we're not going to recover this stage. But we can still watch it burn up. Oh, whoa! Oh, it was worth it just for that. That was awesome. Oh, wow. Look at this lightning storm. This is amazing. Yeah, I have no control, so I can't. It's raining down here. Not the Airstream Protective Shell. The parachutes. Oh, well. Doesn't matter. Let's see what survives going in at 200 meters per second. Oh! The engine survived. Okay, we can't switch to it. Can we recover? What in the heck? Normal recovery. So many dialogues opened at once. Let's see how much money we got back from that. If any. I'm not really clear how that worked. Okay, well, we got some debris here we can recover. Who knows where... Those were the boosters. Who knows how that happened. Let's go see if there's debris in the ocean. I can't click on anything. Save game, save 64, yeah. Load game. I have too many save games. Quick save 64, load. Okay, loading worked, and sure enough, there's Periton 1 probe debris. Let's recover it. Normal recovery. Yes, I'm sure. This one too. Normal. Wait, and let's make sure I'm clicking the right thing. Yep. Yep, probe debris, recover, normal recovery, recover. Okay, it's not telling me whether I got any money from that, but that's pretty cool. Periton 1, let's fly it. All right, now I get to build a maneuver out to Dres. So I've got a maneuver to Dres. Dres is a small rocky body between Duna and Jewel. It's known in the Kerbal Space Program community for being the place everyone forgets to go. And it's inspired by Ceres, I believe, the dwarf planet in the asteroid belt. It's positioned in the same, roughly the same area. Yeah, we're going to explore it, and we're going to try to land on it if I've designed this craft correctly, but I haven't had much success with that when it comes to Moho, so we'll see. But I don't want to neglect Dres. Dres gets neglected too much. Oh, wow, we got an encounter straight out of the burn. That's amazing. That never happens. Alright, add a maneuver here. Focus on Dres. And let's make it more precise. What happened to literally all the planets? Okay, there we go. Everything's fine. That's pretty good. We can make it more precise. We want... There's Dres. See, I don't even know what it looks like. We want a polar orbit of Dres because we are bringing mapping equipment. This is our first map. I was going to say it's our first interplanetary mapping mission. It's not. Eve was. I can't get any more precise than that, so we will just do that. Sounds good. Add alarm for the maneuver, which will happen in 193 days, and add an alarm for the sphere of influence change, which will happen right after the tanker is complete, but we can ignore the tanker being complete. So I'm going to work through a couple things and see you in a second. Okay, as a final thing, we have kind of a big decision coming up. The administration building is ready, and I have the prerequisite science that I need. I could unlock 2 expensive tech nodes, or I can go in here to patents licensing. I never used this building, but I like the music. Our science data can be worth a lot of money by selling licenses for other organizations to use our patents. The added bookkeeping required will probably add some extra work for the R&D team, but the financial benefits could be worth their reduced output. I can tell you, the financial benefits are not worth it, but I don't want to unlock the tech tree so fast, and rather than wasting that science, I'm going to turn it into about 95 funds per each unit of science, which is a terrible deal, but I'm going to do it, and it's going to slow down our technical progression significantly. And then we can always turn it off if we feel like we're suffering. There we go. Are you sure you want to activate this strategy? Yep. There we go. So I can cancel the strategy anytime I want. Okay. Meanwhile, we can get another tech node with the science that we do have. Let's get logistics. This is from the colonization mod. Okay. Alright, thank you for joining me on this, well, interplanetary probe episode, it seems. We now have craft going to Moho, we have a craft at Eve, we have craft at Duna, and that is our next big project. And then we've got probes to Dres, Jewel, Urlum, and Nidon, and we skipped Plock because it will take too long. We'll try it again when we have really advanced drives. So I'm going to start a big project next time, and I'm excited about it, but that will be for the next episode. Thank you so much for joining, and bye-bye.